Prosecutors say they've cracked open an elaborate conspiracy to steal houses across North Georgia. Channel 2 teamed up with police and the FBI to share information we uncovered during our month-long investigation. Tonight, 4 people are in jail. Police are searching for 4 others. Investigative reporter Jody Fleischer was there for some of the arrests. She's here now to show us how it happened. Jody.
Monica, a total of 8 people from across North Georgia are all accused of racketeering, basically conspiring to commit what investigators call paper terrorism. The scheme targets unsuspecting homeowners whose properties are empty. The crooks file false paperwork and move in.
Good enough.
The eviction team hauling out everything from TVs to tables isn't usually accompanied by a SWAT team. But detectives here on South Goddard Road are also armed with a search warrant to build their racketeering case against Jermaine Gibson, Gregory Ross, Linda Ross, and others.
Multiple people, beyond 3, were living at that house and using it as kind of a central place.
Prosecutors say none of them owned this house despite the fraudulent deed posted in the window. Jermaine Gibson signed the property over to himself for $0. He filed another deed for this mansion in Lithonia and showed up at this Atlanta home with Joseph Dion Lawler. The pair tried to get a locksmith to let them in using Lawler's fraudulent deed. Police have a warrant for his arrest, too.
Are they basically trying to steal these houses?
Yes. Yes, it is absolute outright theft.
We spent the past month tracking more than a dozen fraudulent deeds and shared our research with DeKalb police, prosecutors, and the FBI. When they saw this man's deed for 2 houses and a $13 million shopping center in Buckhead, they got a warrant for his arrest, too. They all have ties to the raided home on South Goddard.
At the end, they will lose claim to that house. They have no legal right to that house. But what happens is they're able to tie up the legal system by filing bogus paperwork and engaging in paper terrorism against anybody who dare comes after them.
They call themselves Sovereign Citizens, an anti-government group that refuses to follow local laws like paying taxes, registering cars. They even make their own driver's licenses.
It has no meaning in our legal system, and that is where the problems are. When enforcement action is taken, something as simple as pulling them over at a traffic stop, you have problems.
Like this one in Arkansas in May. A teenager opened fire, killing 2 officers while his father was presenting his sovereign citizen papers during a traffic stop. The weapon of choice in Georgia has been paper, as this couple explained when we tried to speak with them days before the raid.
Come on the property, you have made contract with us. And believe me, it's not going to end the way you think. It's going to be non-violent. It's going to all be on paperwork. So you have been warned.
Prosecutors have a warning of their own.
Any activity which harms the citizens of DeKalb County, we're going to deal with it.
Bags and suitcases filled with evidence led to arrest warrants for this woman who witnessed some of the fraudulent deeds and this man who has half a dozen of his own.
Personally, what I'd like to see is a little bit more verification before a property is able to be deeded to another person. That you can't just go to a clerk of court and deed a property to yourself.
The DeKalb DA's office is investigating everyone who witnessed the bogus documents, even those who notarized them. They also plan to push for legislative changes to make it tougher to file the paperwork and easier to prosecute.